She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see.
What's up, babies? It's me, Renee, and I'm back up again with another video. So today I'm going to be doing episode 3 of my back to school series. And today's video is going to be how to maintain good grades. If you're new to my channel, what's up? My name is Renee. I upload videos on Mondays and Fridays and some Wednesdays. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you become a Lisa baby, because why not? And don't forget to turn your post notification bell on. And let's get into the video. I'm going to be covering a couple of things in this video on how to maintain good grades, and maybe you get all A's from this. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to start off with is being organized. So obviously you have to be organized. Like, that's what folders, binders, all of those things are for. That's what they're for, to keep everything in one place, because you really need to be organized. Like, you need to have your homework in one, like for each class your homework needs to be separated, your notes need to be separated, everything needs to be separated and has its own space, because once everything just gets together and it just mixed up, it's going to be hard to keep it with homework, tests, study notes, all of this stuff. Is just going to be hard to keep up with it, and it's going to be stressful because you're going to think you have something here, but you really don't, because it's somewhere else. So dividers, binders, folders, whatever you need, get that stuff to make sure that you're really organized. And this could go for if you're going back to school or if you're just at home. Just make sure everything's organized. We have a desk now, so our stuff is going to be most definitely organized. But if you don't, a table, you could have like a certain spot on the table. If you have an empty drawer, or like your closet has an upper shelf like mine, you could put all your stuff in there. Or if you have a book bag, you can just put it in there and keep it in your room and keep it really nice and neat, even if you're not going back to school, because you need to be organized either way. Because if you're at home and you're cleaning or something, you can accidentally throw something away because it's up there. Like, you could be at home, like even if you're at home, it's still you still need to keep everything organized and together. So especially if you're going back to school and you have a locker or something, you really need to be organized, because those lockers, they don't be on our side sometimes. So the next thing is you need to make sure you study. A lot of people say study, but you really need to study. Like, if you need some help studying, you can contact me. My email's in the description box below, because I'm learning how to study too. Like, I did not know how to study. Like, I don't know how to study. I never knew how to study. Like, okay, you want me to read these notes and what? That is not how you study. I just started listening to music and stuff, and like sometimes my friends will screenshot stuff, send to each other, and we'll get like each other's help. It's fun to like do it with people, like study with people, because somebody might know this and you might know this, and they might not know what you know, and you might not know what they know. So y'all can give each other like advice, tips, and answers and stuff to help y'all. Like, and even if you don't have nobody to study with, you can still study by yourself, and it will be like. And when you study, do not sit here and I feel like that's why I'm gonna start taking notes in color when I get in high school, because this year I'm not really gonna care about it. I'm gonna just study because I'm still learning. But next year when I go to high school, I'm gonna get colorful pencils if they allow me to. I'm just like, what I need to study, I'll just write it down in colorful pencils, and it'll be more I want to look at this, like I want to study this, like just more attractive, like you want to read. Like, it's not black ink, like that's not fun. When you're listening to music, is make sure that you're not getting off topic and going into the songs and stuff. Just get a playlist with a bunch of songs on it. It could be instrumental. I like instrumental because sometimes I can get caught up in the songs and start singing lyrics and just get off topic, and me trying to read something and then the lyrics playing just does not work for me. So I listen to all the instrumental versions of the songs. And also, your school might have study groups, or you never know. So just like make sure that you are studying and it's fun, and like do not study for 3-4 hours straight. Like, study for an hour or two, an hour and a half. Take a break, just go and like get a snack, get some water, stretch. I wouldn't say watch a show because you might get caught up in it, but look at something inspirational, or just like watch a couple minutes of a show if you are self-disciplined and you know that it's time to And that's where alarms come in, because I love alarms. If you haven't known by now, I do love alarms. Alarms are something that gets me through my day, and everything helps me stay organized because I cannot do it myself. Alarms are just my number one thing when it comes to staying organized and, like, you know, being on time for certain things, you know. So, and also, if you know how to be on time, check out my recent video I just uploaded on Wednesday, and that was episode 2 of my back to school series, and it just gives you some tips and tricks on how to be on time and not late. So, but yeah, just, you know, make it fun and make it not boring and stressful, because studying for a long time can stress you out. It really can. So, I mean, you can study by yourself for a part of it, study with your friends for the other part, study with your friends the whole time, or just go by yourself. I mean, either way, you know, just make it fun. Don't make it boring, because you're not going to get anywhere with boring studying unless you can do that. You can read all the books and everything and get it, and make sure it's quiet too. The next thing is paying attention. You can come to class all day, you can be here all day, but if you don't pay attention, you're not going to get anything. Like, you could Google the answer, you could do all of that stuff, but if you don't really know it for yourself and you are not paying attention, you're not going to get anything. Because when you get home and it's time to study, you don't know what this stuff is, so you have to go and learn it all the way over, while everyone else knows what it is and they're just getting a deeper understanding and a deeper meaning in it. They're just, like, you know, redoing it and just, like, studying it. You have to learn it and study, so that's just gonna be stressful. So all this talking and playing and trying to be a class clown needs to stop, because if you want good grades, you need to put the work in. You can't just come to class and not pay attention and think you're gonna get something out of it, because you are not. It's not gonna work that way. It's not gonna work. You need to be there. You need to be in the class and be in the class, not just be there and not be there. Like, be there and be in the class. If you know what I'm saying, like, be in the class and pay attention. Like, if the teacher asks a question and you don't know, like, if the teacher asks a question, try to be engaged with, like, the class. Don't just lay back, because you're not going to get any answers or anything. I mean, you don't have to, but try to be, like, engaged and ask questions and stuff, because you might get the answer wrong, but I mean, you can get the right answer and know that answer is not correct, instead of just being completely quiet and get nothing. So, try not to miss school. Sometimes you can't help that you might get sick, or you have a doctor's appointment, or you just can't go to school a certain date. But skipping or just not coming to school just because you don't want to is not good. Because if you really care about your grades and you really want some good grades this year, and you're trying to, like, up your level and get some good grades, you need to go to school every single day as much as you can, because the more you miss school, the less you're going to learn, the less you're going to know, and you're going to miss out on a lot, rather than you come to school every day, get the lessons you need and get everything you need to know. I mean, because if you don't know something, and if you do miss a day, the teacher may or may not go over it, but if you don't know, you can ask one of your friends or ask the teacher. And y'all need to, if your friends don't pay attention to class, you can't depend on them. You need to get some people who know what the stuff is, because people who don't care about you, there's people who sit there and try to distract you and talk and play with you during class, do not care about you. So y'all need to get some new friends as well, if those people don't, or just find some other people for, like, school. You know, try not to miss a lot of days, or try not to skip. Don't skip, because it will show up in your progress reports and report cards. So ask questions. I was so scared to ask questions when I was younger, because I didn't like attention. I didn't like spot. Like, I didn't just like, you know, teachers like, oh, Faith, read this page. Faith, read next. Faith, what's this answer? What's this? And teachers would put you on the spot with them little popsicle sticks. I did not like that stuff at all. Like, I just didn't like being on the spot. Now, if I need to know something, I'm gonna ask a question. It might not be during the class, but I might ask after, I might email. It doesn't matter how you want to ask questions, but make sure you ask questions. Because if you don't know something, you can Google it, but it might not give you the exact answer, or you might not get the answer that you're looking for. And the teacher can give you the answer that you really need, because sometimes Google is not going to always, you know, I mean, you got Brainly, but it's not always going to give you the answer that you need. So you might as well just go ahead and email, ask the question during the class, or anything. Just ask the teacher the question, or ask somebody a question, because you need that answer. Like, you can't just, like, don't be like, oh, I'm not going to ask somebody because I don't want nobody to think I'm dumb or I don't know something. That doesn't matter. at the end of the day, you're making an effort and you're trying to increase your grades. So what does it matter how you get your answer? What does it matter that you don't know? As long as you get to as long as you ask the question and you know the answer, you're perfectly fine. Like, do not just not ask questions and then just wait until the test or whatever it is, and then you look stupid because you didn't ask a question, because you didn't want to look like somebody who didn't know anything, or you just was scared to ask a question. Like, you do not have to ask in front of people. Just email the teacher on a just email the teacher when you email the teacher or ask them after class. Make sure you know what your grades are and stuff. Make sure that you know what type of grades you have, and if your grades aren't so good, or just if you want to up your grades and stuff. If your teacher allows you to do extra work, do the extra work. Like, ask for extra work. Sometimes if you're not putting in the work, your teacher might not give it to you just because you don't do the work at all and then you want extra work. But if your teacher knows you are a really good student and you are trying, ask for the work. Please ask for some extra work, because that will really help you. I do extra work. If it's given to me, I don't really ask because I just don't like doing it. I just feel awkward doing that, and sometimes I really don't need it anyways. It's your girl be on the honor roll. So the last one is Googling is not always bad. Like I said earlier, sometimes you can't Google everything because it's not going to give you the answer. But sometimes Google will be there for you, will help you. Because, Google does have a lot of things on there that can help you with stuff. But you got to find the right websites and the right stuff. But Googling all the time is not cheating. It's not, it's not always bad. I know I'm not going to lie. I did used to search on sometimes. I wasn't somebody who did it all the time. But sometimes if I didn't feel like doing the work, I just looked up the answer key and all the answers would be there. But you can't do that for everything. When you're using Google for good, when you're actually trying to figure something out and learn something deeper, it's and YouTube. Both of those are really good, especially if you can't contact the teacher and you really are struggling. And YouTube for math is kind of different. If you're not looking at that specific video in school and the video is what you're learning, but it's a different way, it's going to be hard. But at least you have a way of doing it. You have a way of doing it, and that's your way, because it's easier to understand. And if your teacher just why are you doing it this way, it's communicating to them saying you didn't understand it the way it was taught, so you just needed another way to do it. Just do that. So Googling and looking on YouTube is not bad. Using Reñee, Photomath, Quizlet, all of that stuff is not bad. But if you don't use it the correct way, it's not gonna help you. That's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe button if you are not part of the Lisa Baby family. And see you on the next video.
Yeah, I wonder what she hides under her disguise. Yeah, 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 yeah.